It was like no one sees.
Oh, no, I did.
Yeah, pacing is off. What happens if you don't have it?
Well, the Frank is down with me.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, it's true.
You wanna know something funny? I could have saved you, but I didn't. Fuck!
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what to say because it's an older rundown that I already played almost 3 fucking years ago. Damn, fuck, we're getting old, dude. And then, of course, you got the influx of people saying, why is this rundown easy? Well, because tools. Yeah, we got more variation of guns, like hell shotgun, precision rifle, and so far and so on. But the majority of the buff from the player comes from the tools, because they actually work as intended now. I'm not saying that gun buff isn't a factor of the game getting easier, but as a whole, the main reason some sections are easier is because of the tools. Sentries actually hit their shots, well, except shotgun sentry. Foam takes less bubbles on the floor to see from an enemy. And if you look at the history of this game's buff, it's basically just better body shot damage, like DMR and pistol changes in Random 5. Now, if we talk about level design, they did make some really odd choices when it comes to these classic levels, and I was gonna do a side-by-side comparison, but it would be useless. And our 2v1 being a class 7 instead of a class 9 is kind of bad. Yeah, a B level, why you worrying so much? But that's the main reason why the level got its fame for, and it's my favorite level, because that's like the one level that caused me a stroke when I started playing. And you know, adding rooms to make the level more setup friendly isn't a bad thing. It's literally how the game plays. But thing with our 2v1 is that they added this room with 4 doors essentially to your alarm room that's connected to your room. And due to the global timer on door hits, if you get lucky and you got one spawn, one side of the spawn on your connector room and the other one on the blood door, they will simply take forever to get to you. You can be on set 5 of the class 7 and you will not see a single enemy if you see from a mine those doors and you get lucky, which might not be a big deal because it's RNG, but it can happen quite frequently, which is bad, especially since it's a class 7. By the time the enemies get to you, you basically don't discount, so it's essentially a class 2. Now, here is a list of the more apparent and tangible things changed from the OG levels. The levels themselves basically play the same as the OG counterpart, but they feel kinda watered down. Like, for example, D2 removing infection. For example, it's kinda weird. Like, when I went down to check the first code for the reactor, we were like, what the fuck, why are you not getting infected? They thought I was cheating. As a matter of fact, I was cheating, but not in the sense that they were thinking. Now, I assume they remove infection because on the feet of a new player, this will be their first reactor that they're gonna go and fetch codes, and infection might be a little overkill in 10 chambers eyes, which is understandable. I will say that I was expecting more improvements to bots, since basically they're just fixing some UI and backend bugs each patch, and they don't have to worry about checkpoints for a long time. And as a matter of fact, bots are currently broken. I've read that they will drop items you tell them to carry around and refuse to pick them up when the game enters in combat mode. And apparently that's been broken since the re-release of Random 1, which is kinda bad. Now, I'm not a huge advocate of modding your vanilla game with quotation mark quality of life, but Better Bots mod made by Eastern Unit is honestly quite good, and you should probably get it. The mod basically disables the melee on bots when in combat. They will still help you during stealth by hammering all the smalls that trigger, but since I installed the mod, I rarely see them going on suicide missions trying to melee 10 enemies, or maybe even a giant, which is a good thing. They keep their distance, they only shoot. Yeah, they might consume a little bit more ammo, but the peace of mind that you will get from them just shooting enemies instead of just suiciding into anything. It's so worth it. Now, even though you can rely on them with fighting and protecting you while currently objective items and such, like in Artusi 2, the mod only does that. It doesn't fix the other whole set of issues like resource distribution, friendly fire, scan distance. As a matter of fact, friendly fire is more prominent now, since they will start shooting a lot more than meleeing, but I would rather take friendly fire than a dead bot that can throw an entire game. You will still have to babysit them and the resources on boxes too, just like in the vanilla game. So install this at your discretion. I've personally enjoyed it since I play with bots a lot when playing with my significant other and beat the entire rundown with her with this mod enabled. So it's worth it. You should give it a try. So we're basically at the end of the video, and honestly there isn't anything too crazy to talk about, unless you want me to yell at a cloud like an old man, be like, why this level looks like 3 pixels to the side, like, no. But I was expecting a little bit more, to be fair, because this seems like such a great opportunity to fix some of the game's aspects. Like, you know, maybe we can get some better optimization on some rooms, because some of the rooms run like crap, especially floodways and some dig site tiles. Better bot logic, maybe experiment with enemy AI, make them take 2 different routes to not make funneling such a strong strat. Maybe fix the global timer on doors. Hell, rework permafoaming so it's not a brain dead thing to do. Like, I can keep going on and on and on. But at the end of the day, it's the second re-release. We still got another, what, 5? Can we count 7 even as a re-release? Even though it was a new release like a couple of months ago? Like, I don't know. See you in the next video.
He unstuck it already. Oh fuck.
Oh, there's
Is there another?
Yo, run. Hey.